Okay, so this is a power distro for the welding table there. And I have, let's see, I have a plasma cutter which is a 20 amp load, and I have a Miller 211 MIG welder, which is a 30 amp load, and I have this heater here, which is a 30 amp load. And of course I'd like to have an outlet at the table here so that I can plug in regular 120 volt tools. Now, I had this before, but it was pretty casual. You could see this little box up there where it used to be, but it wasn't really convenient, and all of the machines were wired directly into the box. And over the years, as I create different workshops, I've figured out that although that may be efficient and expedient and inexpensive, it makes changing equipment and rearranging furniture kind of a pain. So instead, I opted to build this little distro, which is going to be like that one little MIG welder there, and then the heater and the plasma cutter, and this for a convenience outlet. And I got a California 50 inlet, flanged inlet, and I didn't have a ground bar that fit this panel, so I pulled one out of an inverter I had, and I had to drill a different hole for it, but I got it mounted in there pretty good. And this distro is superior in a couple of ways. One, it's completely modular. I'll pop some holes in it and rivet a couple pieces of aluminum angle on it, so I can quickly attach it to stuff. It'll probably just stay on the welding table forever, but I've moved enough things enough times to know that forever could be like 5 years. So I set this up. They're all twist lock receptacles, like is the standard in the entire shop. I have some little wire folding you can see here. So it's important that the wires have a path for folding. These are all stranded wires. These are THHN on this side because they're kind of a small gauge, and I had to go to the Despot and get a roll of red in 10 and 12 gauge. But these 6 gauge conductors, I stripped these out of a piece of SEOOW cable that I had laying around. That was actually really short to begin with, so it wasn't much of a loss to take the end of it off. So the inlet is a flanged California 50, which is going to be a split phase device here. You can see it says 3-pole 4-wire 125 250, and it's a California standard 6375L. I guess the L is locking. This is not a NEMA plug, but it's a very popular 50 amp plug. The other alternative for 50 amps is a 1450, but the problem with the 1450 is that getting inlets for it is almost impossible. So you can get a 1450 outlet, but not a 1450 inlet. And I needed an inlet here for this project. Can't get these little tabs on the top. So there's these little punches here. So I'm gonna try and pop those down, and I'll put the screws in it. But all of the twist locks are on the front here. I really prefer twist locks for this application for a few reasons. not least of which you can blow them out with a hole saw pretty easily. I don't know if you can see my little grid lines here. I scratched those in there with the calipers and a little square boop, to get my centers, and it worked really easy. So, and it's a tight package, it's small, it's modular, and you can take it wherever you go and use it for whatever projects you get into. You're like, I'm going to build my shop this big because that's how much stuff I have. But guess what? Maybe one day you'll change it around and you'll want something bigger, and then you'll have a little distro that you can use for a lot of things. And when you move, you can unplug everything and carry it away and replug it back together, and it's super legit and stable, and you're not terminating loose wires and wire nuts and stuff like that. So that's the welding table distro. Thanks. Bye.